Another explosive Liberal political scandal. Ms. Dancho asks MP Bill Blair to step down. There was political pressure for the RCMP to release classified information. Here's the clip.
From the beginning, Minister Blair and RCMP Commissioner Lucky misled Canadians, and they lied to a parliamentary committee. The newly released recording of RCMP Commissioner Lucky confirms that the Minister's office requested that the RCMP release sensitive information about the ongoing investigation into the worst mass killing in our history, and confirmation was given to the Minister that this would occur. By requesting this information be released to further the Liberal political agenda, the Minister pressured the Commissioner and politically interfered in the RCMP investigation. This comes after the Minister and RCMP Commissioner both tried to cover up this scandal and prevent Canadians from getting to the truth about the Liberal government's political pressuring of the RCMP to support the government's political agenda. The Minister lied when he said he was not aware the Commissioner would release the sensitive information, and he lied when he also said he never asked the Commissioner to reveal that information. Both are now proven false based on the audio recording of the Commissioner released yesterday. Worse yet, the Minister was advised that releasing this information would jeopardize the investigation, and he asked that it be done anyway. He put the government's political agenda above Canadians, and then he lied to us in committee about it, and that is unforgivable. The Minister and the Commissioner lied and violated the independence of the RCMP and jeopardized the investigation into the worst mass killing in Canadian history. We do not have confidence in this Minister to hold any position in this government, and he should resign immediately along with the RCMP Commissioner. I'll take your questions. No questions?
I'll ask a question, if you wouldn't mind, on actually the Emergencies Act inquiry. And I'd like to know what you make of it so far, what you've heard, and whether anything changes your opinion at this point about the use of the Emergencies Act.
I think the Liberal government's response during the Emergencies Act invocation is misleading. They said a number of misleading things. We know they said that the police asked for the invocation of the Act. We know that that was not the case. We'd like to know what else they were misleading the public about. I think, again, what we're talking about today as well is, again, more lies. So there seems to be a bit of a pattern. When it is convenient and the Liberals are looking to put forward their political agenda, they lie to Canadians. So when we heard the audio recording yesterday regarding the RCMP scandal, what was made very clear by Brenda Lucky in the audio recording was that she said the Minister's office requested that this be done. Now, when we were in committee, I point blank asked the Minister, was he, number one, aware that the Commissioner would be trying to share this information publicly? He said he didn't even know it was going to happen. He also elaborated to say he did not ask her to do that either. But based on the audio recording, she said very clearly the Minister's office requested that she do that, and then she confirmed to the Minister that she would. So we have a situation here where the Minister is directing the RCMP to interfere in an investigation that they were advised doing so would jeopardize that investigation. So very clearly that is political pressure that they were putting on the Commissioner to interfere in the investigation. We believe that is quite serious. It's not every day that we ask for a Minister to resign, but given that he lied point blank at committee and pressured the RCMP Commissioner of Canada to politically interfere in the investigation of the worst mass killing in Canadian history, on those two fronts, we believe he should resign today. Yes.
We're seeing several press conferences of cabinet ministers across the country right now on the handgun freeze, or handgun ban, however you want to phrase it. Just given how Liberals are re-announcing this and the strategy they're using today, do you see them as trying to create a wedge issue, further wedge issue on firearms here?
I think you have to look no further than the last election to see that the Liberals clearly use firearms as political wedge to divide Canadians on this issue. Now, Conservatives are very concerned about the rise of gun violence in Canada. We also believe in very strict gun laws in Canada. What we won't be doing is dividing Canadians and politicizing firearms. We've been clear all along that we believe the billions and billions of dollars of resources they are spending on their gun control policies, which will fail to address gun violence, violence, we would be spending those billions of dollars on bolstering our border security to stop gun smuggling. We would be providing more resources to police to fight gang violence and criminal elements in our urban cities. And we would also be supporting grassroots organizations that support at-risk youth from joining gangs and life of crime. That's where we believe the priorities should be. That's also what we're hearing at committee would be most effective to direct resources if we really do want to commit to stopping gun violence, which we do.
What do you think about the fact that the Liberals are still taking this step forward and the MP still discussing Bill C-21?
Well, I think it shows that, they're not serious about consulting experts across the country. We are in the midst of an extensive committee study into their current legislation on gun control. And we are hearing from experts across the country that there is clearly a division on what experts believe should be done about firearms. But if you speak to police and those that know crime elements better than anyone else, they agree that the Liberal approach to this will fail. It is a waste of taxpayer resources that should be put towards the three areas that I just outlined. That's where we'd like to see investment. Again, the latest estimates for their gun control agenda that they were politically maneuvering when 22 people died, that's going to cost the taxpayer $5 billion. The amount of good that you could do in areas where it's actually going to make a difference for reducing gun violence is quite significant. And yet they're spending it in a way that will further divide Canadians on this issue when we should be able to come together and agree that we all want to see gun violence reduced, which we do, but let's focus it on areas that will actually be effective.